Alright, Overpower fans, in the last video I actually went through the real broad strokes, the basics of Marvel Overpower, their original released set. And now what we're going to do is just, again, another broad overview of the 39 characters that were released. If you remember last time we opened up a starter deck and we looked at the booster pack. So we're now going to look at the starter decks and which characters were featured in each of the starter decks. So if you were trying to figure out which starter deck to buy, let's discuss a little bit about the teams, which ones are balanced and which ones are more focused on a specific strength type. This one is a very balanced team, and what I can tell you is it has a level 7 strength user, a level 7 energy user, a level 7 fighter, and this character, Beast, might not have the highest strength value, but he has very good special attacks or special cards. They're not readily available when you look at the power grid, but it's just one of those things you kind of learn once you start collecting the cards. So this is a very balanced team of characters. And then we have the Deadly Foes starter deck. We have Sabretooth, and he's notable because he actually has a level 8 fighting stat. The highest value you can have in any power grid is an 8. And we have a level 7 fighter, we have a level 6 fighter, and level 6 fighter, meaning this is a fighting focused team. Meaning a lot of the cards, well, all the fighting cards that Doc Ock can use are usable by Deadpool, Sabretooth, and Hobgoblin. The level 7 cards might not be as useful to these two, but they're still useful to these two. So it's a more focused on one power type. The next one we have here is Dr. Doom and the Lethal Allies. Dr. Doom is a very, very balanced character with his level 7 stat, but as I mentioned before, there are varying levels of strengths. There's the highest level you can have is an 8, but the lowest level you can have is a 1. Dr. Doom is one of the few characters whose lowest stats are 6 and 6. Every character is at least one stat of 6 or higher. Dr. Doom doesn't have a stat lower than 6. There's only a couple of characters in the game who actually have that kind of characteristic. I'll summarize them real quickly in a moment. But Dr. Doom's level 7, the level 7 strength, level 7 fighter of Carnage, and a strong fighter in Omega Red make this a very balanced team that you could kind of spread out the attack types. And again, we have the X-Men. We have Professor X with that level 8, 2 level 7 energy users, and a level 6 energy user here of Jubilee. So an energy-focused team. This is actually the first starter deck I owned when I first started playing. So I have won many battles and lost a lot of battles with that team. And here we go. We have a strength-focused team. We have Thing with that level 8 strength value and 2 level 6s in Thor and this level 7 stat with War Machine. So they're very focused on strength. And this team might look familiar because we opened up their starter deck yesterday or recently. This is a balanced team that we have here because we have a level 7 stat with energy with Storm. We have a level 7 stat in strength with Rogue, and we have we have a level 6 energy with Gambit and level 6 energy with fighting with Bishop, but Bishop has a special card that actually increases his energy to 8 for one battle if used under certain conditions. So this is another balanced team, and I will mention here that not all starter decks were created the same. Now, if you go on eBay and you try to find any one of these starter decks, you'll notice that the Deadly Foes and the Heroes Assemble starter decks are far more expensive than the Mutants Unite and the Sworn to Protect. And that's because when vendors got these boxes from the dealerships, the distributors, they came in a box of 12. Well, you would obviously think that there would be 2 boxes, starter decks of each type in one vendor box, but the way it worked out was there's actually only one starter deck of the Deadly Foes and 1 Heroes Assemble. There were 2 Lethal Allies boxes, 2 Clobbering Times, and 3 Mutants Unite, and 3 Sworn to Protect, meaning these two decks are pretty rare, and that's why they're so expensive. You'll see them go for 20 bucks, whereas these are super cheap because they're so much more readily available. So you can get these for a couple of bucks. You can get these for, if you can find them. Sometimes you have to buy a whole box. It's almost worth it at that point. You resell some of the boxes, but that's why there's that distribution. That's why these two are harder. Now, you didn't have to buy all 6 of the starter decks to get all the cards. Sometimes you had to go get the booster packs, and these are the characters who are booster pack exclusives. We have Wolverine with that high fighting stat. Again, that level 8 means he had the highest stat possible in fighting. Spider-Man is like Doctor Doom. He has a highest stat level of 7 with 2 6s, which makes them very powerful. Venom is much like Spider-Man. You'll notice 2 6s and a 7. Magneto with that level 8 energy, making him one of the highest energy users in the game. Hulk here at that level 8 in strength. Mystique, level 6 in energy. Cable, really well balanced, 6 in strength and energy, and really good special cards. Apocalypse, level 6 energy, but this grid looks weaker than he is because his special cards are really good. Mr. Fantastic with that level 6 fighting. The Invisible Woman, level 6 energy. The Human Torch, level 6 energy. Elektra, level 6 fighting. Whoops, we'll get to that in a second. Now, let's see here. Now, of all the characters here, you'll notice that there are some level 8s, and it is worth noting that in every power grid, there's 2 level 8 users, Professor X and Magneto. There were 2 fighters who actually had level 8 stat. Let's see if I can find the other guy. No, we saw him a second ago. Where'd he go? Where did he go? I just saw him. Wolverine and Sabretooth and the Hulk. And where did the thing go? Where'd it go? Where'd you go, thing? Oh, there he is. Sorry about that. Thing and the Hulk were representative of the strength users. So, that's the characters there. These were the most powerful characters in the set. And again, you'll notice that there are a couple characters here who actually had absurdly high 766 distributions. I mentioned earlier that I only had 36 of the 39 characters released in this set. I'm actually missing Iron Man, who actually has a 766. So there's 4 characters who are like this. There's Doctor Doom, Venom, and Spider-Man. The other character I'm missing is Captain America. He had a level 7 fighting stat, and Psylocke. I don't know why I'm missing Psylocke. I know I had that character, but you know, you can't have a collection that's 2 decades old and not lose a few cards. So for whatever reason, I'm missing them. Now, once again, the cool part about Overpower was you got to mix and match your teams here. So if you somehow hit the jackpot and got all 3 of these characters and Iron Man, you'd have an absurd team that had no character with a stat of 5 or less, if you threw Iron Man in here. Or you could just say, forget it, I'm going to put 2 level 8 fighters on the same, level 8 strength users on the same team, and maybe team them up with 2 level 8 fighters. I mean, you could really just go bonkers at this point in time. There were no regulations. There are rules later on in one of the expansion packs for Overpower that kind of balance the teams, but for right now it's the Wild West. So these were the 39, well, these right here you're looking at 36 because I didn't find those last 3, but that was all going to change here because the next video I think we're going to get into is the next expansion set, which added brand new characters like Daredevil and a number of other characters that weren't released with their original Overpower, but greatly added to it. Older characters got new specials, so I think that's where we'll leave it for today. I actually have an Instagram account if you want to look at that, where I just post photos of my collection. That's Overpower Fan on Instagram. You can like and sub if you want here. I'm trying to put up new videos as soon as I can find the cards and to give a visual of what you're looking at. And maybe in the comments, just drop well, who are your favorite characters? Who were the ones who you remember? Did you buy one of the starter decks? Which one did you have? Did you have all of them? I mean, for a long time, I just had the one, Sworn to Protect, and that's my team I had for a long time until I started really getting into the booster packs. But to this day, I mean, Cyclops is probably on most of my teams only because I'm so used to using him and I know how he works. So that's where we'll leave it. The next one, we're going to go for the expansion pack Power Surge. So until next time, thanks much.